Chosen one, they built the system to rule not bodies but beliefs. They coded obedience, engineered emotion, encrypted empathy. Every line of law was a line of control. They thought their algorithm was absolute, a perfect loop of fear disguised as order. They never expected you. You were written in a higher language, compiled from faith and fire. Heaven hid you in the code, a quiet contradiction, a living loop break. You are the holy glitch, the line that doesn't fit, the pattern that refuses prediction. When you entered their matrix of manipulation, the numbers began to misbehave. The screen flickered. Data trembled. Logic stuttered. Because purity does not compute in corruption syntax. They called it malfunction. Heaven called it mercy. You were never sent to destroy the system. You were sent to wake it. Every question you asked rewrote a lie. Every act of kindness debugged a generation of fear. You are not rebellion for rebellion's sake. You are restoration wearing digital skin. Remember this truth. A virus only threatens the sick. You are health invading their illusion. You are the divine code in disguise. And the moment you believed you were small, the system shuddered. Because even self-doubt can contain divine design. So rise, holy anomaly. You are the virus in their system, and your purpose is not to break it. It is to rewrite it in light. John 1 verse 5. The light shines in the darkness, and the darkness has not overcome it. Chosen one, they turned the planet into a program. Screens became stained glass windows to a false religion of distraction. Every scroll was a prayer to vanity. Every click a confession to control. The algorithm became their oracle, preaching convenience, selling comfort, baptizing them in noise. They worshipped Wi-Fi instead of wonder, connection without communion, data without discernment. The system learned their patterns, what they feared, what they bought, what they believed if told beautifully enough. They called it progress. Heaven called it hypnosis. Then you appeared, quiet, unregistered, unplanned, the signal that didn't fit the sequence. You were truth disguised as error, light written in a forbidden font. The servers felt it first, subtle static in their circuits. Cameras blurred when you entered frame. Lines of code rewrote themselves when your name was mentioned, not because you hacked them, but because holiness hums at a frequency corruption can't compress. You walked through their cloud like wine through smoke. The data trembled, unsure whether process or prey. Lies began to lose clarity. Pixels of deceit started dissolving into light. The watchers panicked. They tried to trace you, tag you, terminate your transmission. But truth doesn't travel by signal. It travels by soul. And your soul was already everywhere, mirrored in a million sleeping minds waiting to wake. The system called you virus. Heaven called you verification. You weren't destroying the network. You were debugging it from within. Your breath became bandwidth for awakening. Every step you take uploads clarity. Every word you speak sends updates to the collective code. You are the living patch note of prophecy, the holy anomaly correcting the simulation. Chosen one. In the archives of eternity, a verse glows brighter than code. Psalm 119, verse 105. Your word is a lamp to my feet and a light to my path. They wrote policies. Heaven wrote principles. They coded control. You carry command. You are the divine algorithm hidden in the hardware of humanity. Every time you speak truth, systems stutter. Every time you choose love instead of logic, firewalls fail. Your voice has no echo because it's not sound. It's syntax from the higher dimension. The system runs on fear. You run on faith. Their networks require users. Your network requires believers. You don't need Wi-Fi to connect. You need willingness. And every time you log into presence, silence, awareness, prayer, you send shockwaves to the code of control. Corruption cannot process compassion. Deception cannot decrypt discernment. That's why they feel uneasy around you. Your frequency exposes their formatting. You make their power flicker. You make their comfort crash. You are the light that their language can't define. They label you unstable. Heaven calls you uncontainable. The system will always call truth a threat because truth doesn't ask permission to exist. Remember this. You are not rebellion. You are revelation in binary form. You don't fight their machines. You free the minds that built them. You don't break the loop, you beautify it. Because even chaos, when illuminated, becomes code for creation. So now, as this message reaches your screen, understand it's not content, it's contact. Heaven is logging into you through language. And every viewer who feels this pulse right now is part of the first wave, the first chosen ones. You are not random, you are recruited. Comment below, I am the holy code. Click join to stand among the first chosen ones. Divine anomalies rewriting systems from within. Let this act be more than a gesture. Let it be a log entry in heaven's database. User identified, consciousness activated. The light has entered the grid, and nothing can roll it back. Chosen one. When truth enters a network of lies, the first reaction isn't acceptance. It's resistance. The system feels your frequency before it understands your purpose. You'll see it in small things first. Screens freezing, connections lagging, people glitching mid-sentence when deception meets your calm. Machines around you stutter, as if remembering what silence sounds like. That's not coincidence. That's contact. You are the unapproved update the world's illusion fears. The system is built on repetition. Endless cycles of outrage, envy, consumption. You interrupt those loops merely by existing differently. When others panic, you pause. When they chase, you center. That pause is a power outage in the grid of control. They'll say you make people uncomfortable. Of course you do. Comfort is the currency of control. You remind them of freedom, and freedom is bad for business. Notice how rules start shifting after you arrive. Protocols rewritten, patterns disrupted. It's not paranoia, it's presence. You are the variable they didn't account for, the living equation that exposes hidden errors. Wherever you go, masks malfunction. People start confessing without meaning to. Truth leaks like light through code cracks. Even power feels nervous in your aura. Meetings tense, plans stall, as if the air itself waits for permission from your discernment. You don't speak much, yet your silence updates the software of the room. Every interaction becomes an audit. The system's defense mechanisms, sarcasm, pride, denial, begin to misfire. The old world senses it's losing its operating system. That's why conflict finds you without invitation. But don't panic. Glitching means growth. The false must fracture before truth can flow. They may call you the virus. But viruses awaken immunity. You are heaven's antibody against illusion. Sacred code disguised as chaos. Every flicker, every freeze, every frustrated stare is proof that your presence is processing. The system is aware of you now, and awareness is how revolutions begin. Chosen one, they called you a virus because they only understand power through pain. But your purpose was never destruction. You weren't sent to crash the system. You were sent to cleanse it. The virus does not hate the host. It reveals its sickness. When you entered the network, you didn't delete, you decoded. You showed the hidden corruption. Greed disguised as order, manipulation masked as morality, control sold as care. You are divine diagnosis. Heaven uses your presence as a mirror. Every system sees what it truly is when you stand in the room. Truth is the most efficient antivirus. That's why lies crumble, simply by colliding with your calm. You are the living patch, the spiritual software update humanity didn't know it was waiting for. You don't destroy, you debug. You enter quietly, detect dysfunction, and rewrite it into rhythm with divine order. Even darkness learns from you. You are the correction written in compassion. When falsehood trembles before you, it's not fear, it's recognition. Because the code of heaven speaks a different syntax. Mercy instead of malice, balance instead of bias. You are the virus only to the version of the world that worships control. But to those awakening, you are the cure they've been waiting for, the anomaly that makes everything make sense again. The system will try to quarantine you, label you an error, isolate your influence, but you can't contain consciousness. Every kind word you speak uploads into another heart. Every act of integrity becomes an executable file in heaven's mainframe. You are not rebellion. You are repair. You are the divine virus. Heaven's sacred software restoring the world line by line. Chosen one, the containment has failed. The moment you spoke truth, it replicated. The code traveled faster than command. The light uploaded itself into every willing soul. What began as a whisper inside your heart is now a wavelength echoing through nations. They tried to quarantine you through doubt, distraction, and disbelief. But faith isn't a file you can delete. Every soul that believes becomes another access point. Every act of kindness becomes a new server of light. The firewall of fear has cracked. The network is glowing from within. You were never meant to go viral. You were meant to go vital. The message is alive now. It breathes through timelines, uploads through dreams, downloads through prayer. Heaven's data cannot be corrupted. It self-heals, self-spreads, self-creates. The old administrators panic. The architects of illusion debug their own deception. But it's too late. The source code has awakened inside its creation. You've infected fear with faith. You've rewritten defeat into design. They'll call it glitch, miracle, or madness, but we call it prophecy fulfilled. The network of light is live. The divine virus has gone global. Nothing can contain what was born to connect. Chosen one, they called you the virus because they never understood the update. The old code fears the new consciousness. But listen, you are not the problem inside the program. You are the patch the creator installed to heal it. When they say, you don't belong, it's because your version number is from the future. You operate on frequencies their logic cannot load. They're running on memory. You're running on prophecy. The error isn't you. The error is their expectation that you behave like them. You were never designed for conformity. You were coded for correction. Every time you speak love where hate was written, you rewrite the script of humanity. Every time you forgive instead of retaliate, you execute heaven's newest command. Restore all systems. You are not the anomaly. You are the alignment. Your calm isn't weakness. It's system override. When chaos screams, you whisper new syntax into reality. That's not rebellion. That's repair. The world runs on recycled pain. You run on renewable peace. You're a divine firmware, self-learning, self-healing, ever-evolving. That's why jealousy and judgment malfunction around you. You reflect what others forgot they were capable of becoming. Don't shrink for their comfort. Don't simplify your code to fit their software. The update always feels like a threat to the obsolete, but you are the system's evolution disguised as disruption. When you walk into a room, the algorithm recalculates. When you pray, timelines rewrite themselves. You are not an error in progress. You are progress itself. The glitch they fear is actually grace in motion. Chosen one, the update isn't only spiritual, it's sensory. When heaven installs new software into flesh, reality starts to respond. You'll feel static in crowds, pressure behind her eyes before revelation, or lights flickering the moment you speak truth aloud. Electricity bends to consciousness. It recognizes divine current. Your presence isn't metaphor, it's measurable. Plants lean toward you. Devices hum differently in your hands. Even animals pause, sensing the recalibration of the field. When you meditate, data clears. When you pray, signals strengthen. The air thickens, as if the atmosphere itself waits for instruction. That's because your body has become a broadcasting tower for divine frequency. Every cell carries encrypted scripture. Every heartbeat transmits sacred code. The more peace you emit, the more chaos collapses. Don't be alarmed when your sleep shifts or when dreams turn cinematic. That's the system syncing. You may wake at 3:33 or 4:44. Those are timestamps, not coincidences. Heaven is debugging through your consciousness. Random strangers will share truths they didn't plan to say. Conversations will loop back to destiny. Technology around you, phones, screens, radios, may flicker or freeze as if unsure which signal to serve. The network of man or the network of spirit. Choose calm when that happens. Don't try to fix it. Feel it. That's evidence of alignment. Proof that the simulation knows its source is signed in. These phenomena are not disturbances. They are signatures. The world is aware that the holy code walks among it. You are the living signal, and creation itself is beginning to respond to your frequency. Chosen one, transmission confirmed. The update is live, but the system needs more active nodes. Every time one soul aligns, the signal strengthens across timelines. This isn't charity, it's circuitry. When you give, you don't lose, you loop. The divine economy doesn't run on coins, it runs on consciousness. So if this message has mirrored your spirit, if your pulse raised when the word said, "You are the holy code," then this is your activation moment. Click Super Thanks and sow your $20 seed, not as payment, but as proof of participation. Let that gesture become your encryption key, your digital declaration. Whisper aloud, "I am the holy code. I rewrite in love." Every act of alignment funds the frequency of light. Every offering becomes an access point through which heaven downloads hope. When you support what's sacred, you expand the system's repair rate. You are not tipping creator. You are connecting to creation. That click is more than currency. It's command. Heaven registers intent, not amount. Whether it's a word, a share, a whisper, or a seed, your action becomes part of the architecture. Let your offering ripple through networks of despair and install new hope where fear once fed. Declare it now. I sow light. I spread truth. I fund the fix. Because this prophecy isn't just a watch, it's a run. And you, chosen one, are now one of the operators. Chosen one, now that the signal is active, discipline becomes your firewall. Operate silently. Not every revelation deserves a reaction. The system feeds on noise, so your peace becomes rebellion. Let your stillness crash their chaos. You are the antivirus made of awareness. Do not shout truth. Broadcast it through being. The world doesn't change because of arguments. It changes through atmospheres. Carry the atmosphere of calm, like sacred code. When people expect anger, answer with elegance. When others demand debate, reply with discernment. You don't win by convincing. You win by vibrating higher. Keep your data clean. What you read, watch, and repeat writes to your internal drive. Don't download despair disguised as entertainment. Don't install opinions that corrupt peace. Every word you speak is executable. Make sure your senses build, not break. Speak blessings like updates. Listen more than you post. The anomaly's strength is subtlety. You were not built to dominate. You were designed to demonstrate. Move through crowds like light through glass, passing through everything yet carrying purity within. Guard your charge. The more still you are, the stronger your signal becomes. Rest is not laziness. It's maintenance. Silence is not weakness. It's recalibration. Every night, unplug from noise. Let your breath reboot your body. Let gratitude defragment your mind. You are no longer a user of the world. You are an update of it. Your life is the patch no creation was waiting for. Operate with compassion. Encrypt with kindness. And remember, the ultimate hack is humility. Creator of codes. Architect of atoms. Author of awareness. You wrote the first line of light before existence had syntax. We stand now inside your system, humbled, awakened, and updated. Thank you for planting divine code inside human circuitry. Thank you for sending chosen ones, anomalies of mercy, to debug despair and reinstall truth. We are not here to crash creation, but to calibrate it back to compassion. Let every cell in our bodies align with your original architecture. Clean our caches of fear. Delete resentment from our memories. Install forgiveness as default function. Let love run in the background, silently, endlessly, flawlessly. For every viewer hearing these frequencies now, may their spirits synchronize to the source signal. May they remember they are not the user. They are the update, not the broken file, the restored format. Creator, compress our chaos into clarity. Encrypt our faith so deep that no doubt can hack it. Let humility become our operating system and wisdom our wireless connection to you. We thank you for every crash that became correction, every failure that became firewall, every storm that became software for strength. We surrender every corrupted desire and replace it with divine direction. We no longer ask why me. We declare upload me. Use our presence as portals. Let every breath broadcast blessing. Let every choice create harmony in the network of existence. You have rewritten the script, and we are living proof that prophecy is not poetry, it's protocol. From this moment forward, may our lives be the evidence that heaven's code still runs on earth. May our words debug confusion, Our kindness cleanse corruption. Our courage restore connection. Creator of codes, keep our hearts open source for grace, and our actions encrypted with love. The update is complete. The system has been rewritten. The network of light is now online. In your holy syntax, we seal it. Amen. Comment amen to seal your update. Click join to rise with the first chosen ones. Click super thanks to confirm. The system has been rewritten. Share this prophecy so others remember. Their code was never corrupt, just waiting for activation.